Okay. We should be live. Let's give the old YouTube test chat a try. We should be live. Perfect. Okay. So, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Network, link 315. I'm your host, Spencer Presley, doing a quick morning solo show. Post-TGS, the news has been slim, unless you are all looking for the world's deepest dives and breakdowns into the weekly, or even sometimes bi-weekly trailers we're getting for Persona 3 Reload or P5 Tactica. But yeah, I'm your host, Spencer Presley. This will be like a sub-hour-long show. Mostly just kind of want to talk about a couple of things here. Enjoy the chat. I'll have the chat pulled up here, so anyone who pops in, wants to say hi, have any questions, let me know. Be more than glad to get that all done and dusted for you. But yeah, so a little bit of a delay. Like I said, the goal is always to get to that bi-weekly, you love to see it-a-thon. Not always, not always the case, God forbid. But, still, at least most of my excuse for that one this time basically dwells from, I'm just going to blame Dead Space. Dead Space has been having way too much fun. But, yeah, I will say it's been nice. I've been working on a new video. I hope to have it out by the end of October. It is not spooky related. It is just a video I've been wanting to do. It is about Sega, especially with some recent news, which will obviously kind of tie into Atlus. But hey, today we're here mostly to talk about Atlus news. So yeah, first couple of big things we'll talk about. Last night we just had a new trailer release, the Yukari trailer for P3R. And yeah, so basically it looks like at this point we're just going to be getting weekly trailers featuring all of the SEAS members leading up all the way until I think we should end up with the last one in December. And then that kind of just goes back to this thing I hate that I have to keep bringing up, but it's like, why are we marketing this game so hard on top of P5T when it feels like Persona 5 Tactica is getting so little information and so little love put out there from Atlus, both in Japan and especially in the West. In the West, it's like, we just now, a month before the game comes out. Like, guys, we're a month away from Persona 5 Tactica. And I feel like I barely know anything about this game. Still putting it out there. I still think there is another developer who made this game. I will be shocked if it is only P Studio. But I'd love to be wrong. Yeah, Atlus just tweeted out the GameStop pre-order news. That hey, if you pre-order Persona 5 Tactica at GameStop, they're the only retailer who's getting a pre-order bonus. No steelbooks, no nothing. This one is a pair of coasters. I'm only praying to God they're not cardboard. But yeah, the Joker and Morgana P5T coasters are the biggest news we've had all week, which is big, big sad. And I mean, hey, maybe this is a strategic thing. Maybe they're aware this is a cheaper game. They're aware that Tactica doesn't need as much money. It's obviously a smaller budget compared to Reload. But it just makes me wonder, this isn't helping the reputation. A lot of stuff I've seen is, people talking about Tactica. It's just oh my god, we're so sick of Persona 5. It's no, that's not the case. I think it's just because most people don't know that it's coming. And again, obviously, I don't think the fact that it's a tactical RPG is necessarily helping it, but again, you can rectify that by putting it in people's hands. There are public demos of this game. We just need to make them publicly available via download. I think there's still a chance that they do that. That's about the only saving grace this game has, unfortunately, though. Otherwise, it's just what's going on? We're a month away. I actually just now, because it's funny, I was thinking about this. I was like, dang, I haven't talked to Atlus, like Atlus PR, since, oh my god, yeah, Persona 5 Royal a year ago, because I never ended up having to talk to them about the P4G and P3P ports. Excuse me. Wow, I'm dying over here. And then I had a fun realization last night. I was looking... Oh, hey, Austin. Yes, happy Mockin' Week. The Mockin' fans are rising up. Unfortunately, I missed Mockin' Monday. But yes, it is Mockin' Week nonetheless. But yeah, so I found out last night over looking at a couple of things. I was like, oh yeah, a lot of my Atlus contacts for PR are no longer there. So I'm starting up the fun game of, hey, I would like to cover Persona 5 Tactica. I would like to review this game in a press manner. Who is this press person I have to talk to now? And what's funny is, like, a little bit of behind the curtain stuff. I was talking to some of my friends about this, and Atlus West apparently is working with some marketing company, and they're going to a bunch of different people who are either streamers or people who make videos on YouTube, stuff like that, and they are planning a launch stream, not like collaboration, like that. I doubt this will be marketed by Atlus, but it's just like an unpaid, hey, do you want a copy of P5T to play on launch day? And then stream it for everyone to go see and hopefully talk about it. And then I was like, I thought it was kind of interesting. Not that it was unpaid. I mean, like, that's pretty common. It's like, hey, do you want this instead of the $60? Just stream it for us. I mean, hey, that's more than fair. No, what I thought was interesting was just like, but wait till launch day? Ah, yes, that will save our game. Let's have a bunch of people streaming it who were probably going to buy it anyways. Not give it to them early to hopefully get ahead of all the discussion. Because obviously, we've been over this. It's a terrible release date. It's coming out the same day as Mario RPG. Obviously, so many games in October alone. November is also still a crazy, crazy month. We've seen so many games moving out of the way. And clearly, Atlus has no plans on doing this for P5T. But like the fact that it's like, hey, we'll just have a bunch of streamers play it. And I mean, sure, maybe in this case, it'll show people who aren't interested in Tactica, oh, hey, this looks interesting, and that's like their, oh, well, we're not going to do a public demo, but we'll just show them what the game looks like in lieu of a demo. Which to me is then just like, that doesn't really, it's not going to do the same thing. People are more likely than at that point to just watch Dude Blazer 58 do a full playthrough, watch that video, and then never touch that game. Which is depressing to me, someone who is not into Let's Plays, let alone making them or consuming them instead of playing the actual game. But yeah, that's kind of moving off the Tactica train. I hope I'm wrong about that soon. I have some stuff I want to do in terms of bringing people on, talking about the game more, let alone probably, honestly, just doing a video of just kind of talking about it. Because, again, it's like the amount of people sleeping on it. The sleep on this game, out of control. actually out of control. But yes, new P3 trailers will be coming weekly. Please be excited for that. In surprising / not surprising news, this one I thought was kind of weird. Atlus released last week the Persona Collection Bundle, which basically is that thing that they probably should have had bundled, not at launch, but at least like released probably a year ago. So the Persona Collection Bundle is weird because it's not everything Persona. It is 3 games that are on 3 different platforms and PC. So, actually, I don't even know if this bundle is on PC. Oh, okay, no, it is on Steam. Okay, cool. So, the Persona Collection only includes Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Reload. It is those 3 games that they announced at the end of that concert. So, it's $90. Which, I mean, hey, bang for your buck. That's not too bad. I bought all these at launch. So let's see. At launch, Royal was $60 and then 20 for each. That's $100. So you're saving like $10 off MSRP. The problem, the obviously problem in very small layman terms, but the little quibble here with that is that all three of these games have gone on sale multiple times and are now well below MSRP. So, like, I've seen Persona 3 and Persona 4, those remasters, I've seen those 50% off, where you can get basically both for like $20. And we've seen Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal was 50 to 65% off a month after it released last year. I saw people picking up that game on Black Friday with the Steelbook last year for like $20. So if I'm buying all these games on sale for sub 50, I think 90 is just not really that tempting. Obviously, this is for people who are just maybe learning about Persona, wanting to be like, oh, hey, let me get a bundle. Because obviously, digital is ironically going to be more expensive longer. Digital will have sales more frequently sometimes than physical. But physical, because of how volatile that retail market is, having to get space, it's just a different kind of beast. And so what's interesting about that is, I was thinking about this. So I was like, okay, realistically, Atlus isn't going to make like all three of these games for a realistic price like that you could. Like I said, hypothetically, you could get all three of these games for under $50 if you really tried hard, or if you waited or knew when deals were happening over the last year. You could have gotten this for well under $60, physical or not. And what's funny about that is, and then got me thinking, okay, well, they're clearly not going to underprice this, so what could they have done to sweeten the deal? And then this one kind of gets a little bit more confusing. I think for Xbox, obviously, there are no other Persona games to include, so that makes it a little bit harder. So in this world, let's just say this is just for PS4 and Switch. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, honestly, why don't we have Persona 4 Arena Ultimax as well as Persona 5 Strikers included? I think at that price point, $90, that's a steal. Even though both of those games have gone on sale, like 5 games, $90, that seems like a really solid cost to me. And hopefully we get to that point where Strikers does come to Xbox eventually, and we do see Ultimax finally come to Series and stuff like that. I would like to see that, and obviously, hey, it would work for PC as well. I think $90 for all of those is very fair, because even at that point, like, you still see Strikers, not counting like when it was on that crazy clearance GameStop thing like a year ago, but like you've seen Strikers like probably hover around the $20 to $30 mark already. So that seems fair. And then Ultimax, obviously digital only in the West for around $20 or so. I think it might have even gone as low as 15 at one point, but it's not like a crazy expensive game. But I think adding that $40 to $50 worth of value right there, that would make this bundle a whole lot more like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And now you have the follow-up to Persona 5. You also have the follow-up to Persona 4 and 3, and it would thematically all tie in together and be a lot more of an enticing package. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some guy in Kansas doing this before work. Please hire me, Atlus. But yes, also, thanks everybody for watching this live. I appreciate everyone, even if they're just kind of lurking in the chat. It's always nice doing this. Miss talking with all of you. Austin, thank you very much. But yeah, so next thing I want to talking about deals. Great deals going on right now. Honestly, it's like every year Black Friday just gets earlier and earlier. It's wild. And talking about GameStop has an insane ass deal happening right now where I think clearance is buy one, get one free on games. Buy one, get two free on like collectibles. And then the big one is all these games they have on sale. So I wanted to put out a bit of a, hey, check out these deals that are currently going on, because if you've missed some of these games, if you've been sleeping on some of these games, I cannot recommend it enough. So, first up, we got Soul Hackers 2. And by the way, I think these deals are going for this week only. I think it's because it's Pro Week. So expect these to end by the 14th, so don't sleep on these. So we've got Soul Hackers 2 for $15 on PS4. $15 brand new, that includes the PS4 and PS5 copy. PS5 and Xbox version physical is $29.99, but still, I'm honestly tempted. If I could find it sealed for $15, I might say F it, because I feel like obviously Soul Hackers did not sell that amazing as a game, but like $15 is a complete steal, and this is the launch edition, so you'll still get the cards that came with the physical copy. And if you haven't played it, like, I cannot recommend it enough. Soul Hackers 2, unsurprisingly, fantastic game. And we also have Persona 5 Royal is on sale. So Persona 5 Royal, I have to like pull it up because some of them are different. Some of them are the Steelbook ones. Some of them are the other weird ones. But for the PS5 version physically, that is now currently on sale for $30 for the Steelbook. And then let's see if the standard edition... I don't even know if they discounted that one. Hilariously, the standard plastic edition... No, that's still $60. The Steelbook's cheaper. Of course, they still have the One More edition still in stock now at other stores for $119. Will it ever sell out? Probably not. But I just find it funny that it still keeps trying. God bless you, One More edition. If I ever see you at like it even below half price, I'll probably give you like a pity buy. Now, here's the weird one, though. The Xbox version of P5R, that Steelbook was like a lot more underprinted. So that's not there. The physical plastic normal standard box version of Persona 5 Royal, that's $30 on Xbox. That works on Xbox One, Series X, and of course is still in stock for the One More edition. And then Nintendo Switch, I think... Okay, that one, the Steelbook edition, is also sold out of. And actually, yeah, weirdly, P5R on Switch is not on sale. Obviously, Switch games are a little bit more different in terms of like what it comes with. And then I'm just kind of curious, what is the PS4 version even going for these days? Used is $17. Brand new is $15. So yeah, even if you're like only a PS4 owner, like, hey, P5R, $15. That's like pretty good. That's like, I shouldn't say that's like pretty good. That is really good. That's a really good fucking price for that game. It's $15, man. Weird little thing I noted that I thought was funny. I was at a like used collectibles like trading store, and they had the gold P5R trading card that you could get with what was it? You could get it with the Amazon pre-order bundle. And I thought that was so funny. I was like, dang, dude, I haven't seen this thing in so long. It was so weird. By the way, shout outs to Original Persona 5. Original Persona 5 is a solid $4. So if you're someone out there who's like, why do I not own a physical copy of Persona 5? Can't go wrong, man. Pretty hilarious. So P5R was not on sale for Switch, but Persona 5 Strikers is only $30 brand new. Pre-owned is $20, which, I mean, even that's pretty fair. The Switch version did not go on sale as much, so not really as surprising to see that there. Ironically, Caller Shenandoah, you bring up an interesting point. I always think about this. I have to pick up the PS3 version of Persona 5. Just because it's one of those things that I'm like, why have I not bought this yet? It's like such a weird little oddity. I own every other Atlus game on there. And it's actually become more rare than... Not, well, I mean, obviously rare is kind of this thing. It's $9 at GameStop. If you can find one at GameStop... PS3 version of P5 is a solid $9, which, I mean, like, to be fair, also, I think I'd seen it creeping up back to $19 and $20 recently, so it could do way worse. But yeah, so outside of P5 Strikers on Switch. I think it is still on sale for PS4. The only reason I would kind of be wary about recommending Strikers on PS4 at like even this like GameStop price, they basically clearanced out all their new copies at $5 last year, so now they have no new copies left. And so we're like, hey, $12 is an absolute steal for that game, but I feel like I'm looking at my show, I have 3 copies still on top of the one I already own that I didn't give away. So you could probably find Persona 5 Strikers cheaper on PS4, just because I feel like either that was overprinted or something happened to make that game hysterically cheap. Another game we have here. No, GameStop, I will not be buying your $99 copy of Cubivore. I do appreciate it. What a weird world we live in, everybody. I'm taking a look at this. We got Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight for $7. And then we have Persona Q2 for $45. P4G on Vita's actually gone down. It used to be like $40 and $50. It's now only $29.99. You could buy Eternal Punishment for $100 on PS1. I'd be very shocked if that came with the case. I would be outstandingly shocked. A lot of the DS games actually are pretty solid. Like, I don't think any of them go over 45. Although, you have to imagine a lot of that's got to assume it's cart only. What a deal. What a deal it would be if it wasn't, though. But yeah, so let's see what Persona 5 Strikers... Not Persona 5 Strikers. Let's see what... There was another one, yes. 13 Sentinels is on sale. PS4 version also was part of that $5 clearance bin, so you're not going to find that as cheap on PS4. Now, one that's been surprisingly like a stickler for not wanting to go more than 50% off, 13 Sentinels is still only $30. It launched at It launched at 60. And I'm always like, it's gotta hit 20 or something. Like, I love Vanillaware, but like I know I'm never gonna play. I mean, I reviewed it also and I checked it out on Switch, but it's like there's no real reason for me to own this game on Switch outside of it just being a collection piece. It'll probably stay sealed, be part of the Atlus collection. I will say though, speaking of Vanillaware games, Grim Grimoire, I feel like a game everyone and their mom forgot about, came out this year. The remaster came out through NAS America, was on PS4, PS4, PS5, and Switch. Now, I know the PS5 version is on crazy deal, but let me check actually if PS4 and Switch is. PS4 is not. I assume they probably print way below PS4 prints now. The Switch version, and this is the deluxe edition, by the way, the physical. So if you've never checked out Grim Grimoire, it is a strategy RPG. I really can't recommend it enough. It's super cool, amazing art, great soundtrack. So this comes with a digital soundtrack and a mini art book. On Switch already, because it MSRP'd for $50. On Switch, it's $24.99. I'm like, damn, that's a pretty good deal. But I want to play it on PS5 because it's like the first PS5 Vanillaware game. $12.50. $12.50 for this thing. That's like, either that means no one's buying PS5 games or just like no one was buying them at GameStop, because that's an actually criminally insane deal. Now, some of these, because they are hilariously good deals, you are probably going to have to like look for them locally or see if anyone price matches them. And it obviously it's going to be harder with some of the like more niche stuff like the NIS titles. But still, there's like a lot of really good deals out there. And I wanted to put that out just because there's been... we're kind of like the lull before the storm. And also kind of not really talking about deals, but like a weird thing I had noticed recently is the Persona 3 Reload Aegis Edition is low-key, like... keeps selling out, and I'm shocked. Marcy Mouse, hello. And Mako Tensei digital OSTs are such a scam. Yes, Mako Tensei digital OSTs are a scam, but again, this is just something that comes with the game for no additional cost. I'm like, yeah, please scam me up. Give me that voucher I'll never use. It's worthless to the company to make, and it's like a good way to like fake it out in your brain and be like, oh yeah, dude, look at this money I saved by getting this. But no, yes, you're right. Digital OSTs are an absolute scam. Go to YouTube.com instead. If you're not gonna buy a physical album for music, just be like, just stream it. Just give your favorite artist those 3 pennies. The sad part is it's probably like give your favorite artist those like 30 percentage points of 1 penny. But yeah, so Persona 3 Reload Collector's Edition keeps selling out. And like a part of me is like, wow, this is just really interesting because we haven't really had an Atlus edition or like an Atlus Collector's Edition sell out in a while. Persona 5 Reload, yeah, it was hard to get it launched. Not Persona 5 Reload. Persona 5 Royal, you eventually could get it after launch, but that was probably more of a like 2020 COVID thing starting up again. And looking back at other ones, like all the other editions that like took months to sell out. And so I'm wondering, is it because have they maybe finally started lowering the allocations of these collector's editions, not to be as limited as the like store exclusive Soul Hackers 2, but maybe more of like a middle ground in the sense of like, hey, it won't be Soul Hackers 2, but it's definitely not going to be as many as even the one more edition. Hard to say. And again, this all could just be, maybe people just want a big old Aegis figure. Maybe they're like, I can handle all 19 inches of Aegis in my collection. I don't know. I just find it interesting. I love following like how this stuff works just because it is so interesting to see the parallels between different Atlus games. Like a good example is Unicorn Overlord. I feel like no one is talking about that game's Collector's Edition. And obviously the Collector's Edition is very different. So like with the Persona 1, you get the art book, the double disc soundtrack, the big Aegis figure, and some DLC. Whereas like the Unicorn Overlord game Collector's Edition is a little funkier. Even this one, I'm kind of like, not that I'm not sold on it, but I'm definitely not like in love with it. I'm super in love with the idea of Unicorn Overlord, but the art book is cool. The 2-disc soundtrack's cool. The DLC voucher, sure, whatever. Base game fun. The weird one is the card game. The 239 2 to 4 player actual physical manifestation card game where like a part of me is like, yeah, that is really cool, but I'm also like the realist in me is like, is it $129.99 cool? Like, is it a whole $70 cooler than the base game to play that card game? That's the harder one. Maybe if they threw a steelbook in there, I could lie to myself and then do it. But I'm excited about Unicorn Overlord nonetheless. It's damn good looking food. Damn good looking food. But yeah, so that's about it really for the most part. Another PSA, I just put a unboxing video out for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax Volume 1, showing off the regular English edition as well as the Barnes & Noble edition. Volume 2 should be out. I'm going to try and pick that up this week. I haven't seen it recently in my stores. I feel like the stock for this is just so out of whack. It's so confusing, and I never understand why. So Volume 1, like I said, Volume 1 took forever to come out. Either had a delay or something happened. Like, we knew what Volume 2 looked like before we could even see Volume 1. I saw Volume 1 in my hands before I ever saw it online, which is wild. So, and then even weirder is for some reason Persona 4 Ultimax Volume 2 is now been taken off of... Oh, did they put it back? Okay, they put it back. Of course, this morning they now would put it back. So Persona 4 Arena Ultimax Volume 2 was taken off of Barnes & Noble's website, is now back in stock. You can see the delectable cover. You can't order it online or anything for some reason. There's tons of them out there. I think they just... I don't know. I don't know what Barnes & Noble is doing with this one about why this has been such a weird, cagier release than others. But yeah, so we've got Barnes & Noble exclusive cover. The first one had Show on the back, used on the front of both covers. I think that'll probably be the theme. Saito-san loves drawing Yu Narukami, what can we say? And so Show was on the back of the first cover. Chie is on the back of the second cover. You gotta imagine Yosuke is probably on one, and definitely Adachi is on the other. My hope is for an Adachi Show cover, but hard to say. But yeah, that's out. I'll be trying to pick that up and posting about it. But yeah, that's basically the show. That's your 30-minute news digest of Atlus goodies. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for popping in and watching live. Oh, well, that's awesome. Mako Tensei, if you can let me know before the end of the show, what is your local like manga shop like a brick and mortar or like a more of like a mom and pop shop? Because I found more brick and mortar stores aren't really bringing, they're not really like ordering them for whatever reason. Whereas what's really weird is you then see, what is it? You then see like Barnes & Noble having theirs because they're the exclusive edition cover, but I'm having a harder time finding the non-exclusive cover, which is a very weird thing to do. But yeah, so quick shout out though, everybody, thank you so much for listening, watching this live, chatting in here. Always appreciate it. Let me know what you think of these kind of shorter, like one-man shows. Let's run through the news, give a quick opinion chat. Let me know what you think of that and those kind of intersparsing, like when it's like, oh hey, I'm like we're planning on getting, because obviously I like to get a guest for every episode, but it's not always going to happen. But just wanted to let me know your thoughts on all this. But let's first off thank all the awesome people we've got at patreon.com/SMTN. Big shout out to everybody. Obviously, if you can go there to support us $1 above, you usually either be part of giveaways, get the show early, and if you're part of the $5 and up tier, you are the executive producer tier, where you get an exclusive shout out at the end of every episode. So big shout outs to all of the executive producers like Jigengus, Budweiser Tallcan, Cameron Sharp, Carlos Hernandez, Contraband, Cross Ren, Demi Crow, Dozy Bear, Dr. Luma, Goracero, Jazzy Jefferson, K Horse, Mirth Mouser, Patrick Dissart, Philip Meyer. Thank you all so much. Always appreciate everything. And and Solaire, almost forgot. Solaire as well. And Winnie as well. Oh, hey, those ones are weirdly like skipped over on the Patreon list there. But thank you to everybody, whether it be $1, $5, or even $2.50, man. I'm sure someone will give $2.50 in there eventually. Every little bit really, really does help. Like I mentioned, I am back to working just one job now. Fingers crossed it stays that way. But hopefully this means more shows, more videos, getting to do more reviews and streams for you all. Really excited for that. If you would like, what would really help, along with letting me know what you think of this kind of shorter show in the comments or feedback below, whether it be the Facebook group, Twitter, or X, and the Discord. Let me know what you think, but also let me know like what sort of like stuff like do you miss me doing in terms of like video coverage or streaming stuff. Let me know if there's anything at all you're curious about. So that is it. Jonathan Pena, thank you so much for being Cardboard Guy from Anime Expo. I'm glad you still have that. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you still have all that. I think like we know who took the cardboard and we know who took like the plastic wrap. It's like one of my favorite parts from that panel. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much. The links for all the socials are going to be in the show notes. If you missed this live or want to know the MP3 version of this, that'll be up probably later. Right, I said like 4 hours or so from now. I might be able to knock it out really quick before work, but I gotta go to work in half an hour and sadly have to be an adult. So, thank you all for watching live. Thank you all for being awesome. I will see you next week for another podcast and hopefully sooner for another video. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, everybody, and I will see you later. Goodbye.